Hi there, Laura here from Get Organized HQ, and I asked over 40 organizing experts what their number one tip for reducing stress in their lives and home is, and this is what they had to say.
Reducing my commitments, reducing the amount of things I have to deal with, just letting things go. It's all about less. So, definitely less stuff. That saves me a ton of time and stress and headache, and I'm not looking for things, and it's easier to cook, and it's easier to clean, and it's easier to get dressed. Less of like saying yes to everything too, right? Just taking things off my plate. When I feel like I'm juggling everything and I'm going to drop balls, I just put some of those balls down. And this is hard for us to do as women, but it is critical to reducing stress.
Look at everything in your house and in your life as inventory that you have to manage. And so I think it's kind of an easy mindset shift to think that every physical item in your home is inventory that you have to manage, but we have to start looking at all the tasks and all the things that we manage. That's also inventory. Even the digital, oh, I thought I could grab my phone. Even the digital files, the photos and the emails and the text messages, it's all inventory and we are overwhelmed by it. But here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with you that you can't manage and keep up on all this inventory. It's simply too much. It's too much for anyone. And so that's why we work to declutter our homes and declutter our schedules and have less inventory to manage. And that is the only hope that we have to stay on top of it. So here is permission to let go of things, let go of physical items that are not serving you, that are not useful, let go of commitments that you just simply don't have the bandwidth for. And you're going to find that the stress in your life is going to go down.
Be as organized as you possibly can. Now, not everyone is going to have the same level of organization, whether it's because they know how to do it or they're even interested in it, but any organization that you can do, from organizing your files on your computer to organizing the things at your desk to organizing the things in your drawers to organizing your life, will make a huge difference. This morning, I'm talking to the insurance agent and they're like, so what is the VIN number? And I was able, or what is your daughter's license number? I was able to pull it up immediately because I had it saved on my computer with a file name that made sense. And it could have, however, been like this hours long ordeal in getting her driver's license number. That saved me a huge amount of stress right there. I didn't even think too much about it until this question was just asked, but truly getting whatever you can organized to whatever extent you're able to can make a huge difference.
Letting go of perfectionism and letting good enough be good enough, focusing on making progress, baby steps, improvement, and completely letting go of the idea of having a perfect Pinterest perfect home or a Pinterest perfect life.
Picture yourself in a peaceful space within your home or office, away from the world's chaos. My top suggestions for decreasing stress in your life and home is establishing a calm, structured workspace. Fill your surroundings with items that bring you happiness and encourage originality. Clear your desk of clutter, incorporate some plants or soothing decorations, and ensure that each item has its proper place. Creating a tranquil atmosphere can help you tackle any obstacles.
Get way more sleep than you think you need. There's been so many studies on sleep, books written about it, and how it affects you, your brain chemistry, your body metabolism, the way you treat others, the way you perceive information is so important. And I think it's highly underutilized.
I really try to limit the number of routines that require my personal energy every day or week or month. And 3 ways I do that are, first, to really be cautious of my purchases, because anything that comes into the home also needs to be maintained and stored and cleaned and remembered and taken care of. And so I'm really careful to not buy anything that's going to need my attention and time and energy if it's not just a big yes and something I'm going to love for years and years. Number 2, I'm really careful with my expectations of myself. So I don't expect to have every single thing clean and perfect all the time. And having that ability to have it clean enough to be healthy, but messy enough to be happy. And then third, I recruit my family to help with the routines. So all of us are sharing in the family work, and it's not just me taking care of everything. So we do it as an activity. We've done that since they were really little, and all those things have been super helpful.
If you're liking these tips, then I know you're gonna love Get Organized HQ Virtual, where you're gonna get to hear from 100 speakers, including everyone on this video, with more in-depth sessions from topics like home organization, decluttering, digital organization, time management, meal planning, and so much more to help you reduce the stress in your day-to-day life. Oh, and did I mention the best part? It is completely free to attend live. All you need to do is claim your free ticket by clicking the link below.
Find a little time for yourself. And I know that can be really tricky when you've got kids and you're working and you're busy all the time, but even just taking a few minutes to yourself, I find can be really, really helpful. So whether it's going for a walk or simply popping in earbuds, listening to an ebook, escaping but still being here can really help you feel less stressed and can make life at home so much easier.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself. We strive too hard to have this like insta perfect home and work life and life in general. And the truth is that we're humans. We're supposed to experience this life not perfectly. It's okay if your house is a mess. It's okay if work is not going as perfectly as you would like it to go. This is an area for us to learn, to grow. So honor where you are. If your house is a mess, okay, you recognize it, you honor it. Now we're going to move forward and start the cleaning process. There's no need to put this unnecessary pressure on ourselves. Honor where you are today.
Don't focus on getting everything done off your list in one day. It can be so overwhelming, and you have so much pressure on that instead of focusing on what you can do today. And celebrate what you did get checked off your list, because even the small task counts towards getting things done for the day. Your efforts matter, so celebrate that.
Do what you can where you can. We're never going to be perfect. Some days you're going to fire on all cylinders and get a lot done. Other days you're going to be overwhelmed. And that's where the days where you are firing on all cylinders will make up for the days where we have too much on our plate. So all you can do is all you can do. I think remember that. Give yourself some grace. You know, maybe try to do one little thing to move the needle in the right direction that day. But, you know, all you can do is all you can do.
Get organized. As a professional organizer, it's my passion to help you and teach you how to do that. I always say start one drawer, one closet, one space at a time. Make a list of all the pain points in your home and then systematically go through those pain points. I will help you do that. I am a teacher at heart. What you need to do is start by taking every single thing out of that space. You're going to sort like with like items. You're going to get systems, AKA organizers. So think of drawer organizers, bins, and baskets. And then you're going to put like with like items in those bins and baskets and organizers, label them, and then move on. It's really that simple. And I am here to help you behind the scenes.
Meal prepping. If we don't meal prep every week, then we will starve. Our schedules are so busy. So meal prepping is essential. So I do my grocery shopping, and I only shop for what I know we're going to eat that week. So planning and prepping. So I plan out our meals. I write down exactly what I need from the grocery store. And again, prepping. Once I get those items, as much as I can accomplish in that moment, whether it's rinsing veggies or prepping any meat or anything else I need to do, meal prep is a game changer. And I'm telling you, that is why we are still alive, because we don't have to order takeout because we meal prep.
Create routines. Knowing that you do a certain thing on a certain day every week takes away all the unpredictability, which therefore reduces your stress. Perfect examples are doing your meal planning at the same time every day or every week, doing your laundry at the same time every week, running certain errands at the same time every week. That predictability reduces stress and creates a better functioning household.
Think about what you can simplify. Simplify, simplify, simplify. So what I mean by simplify are, what are the things that you could stop doing or say no to, or how can you take an overwhelming task and break it down into smaller steps? I find that by doing this, I'm able to
take some of the pressure off, and make it more manageable and therefore less overwhelming.
Have some kind of a routine, whether it's a cleaning routine or get ready in the morning routine, get ready at night routine, however you want to phrase that. But having, to me, a cleaning routine is what keeps the stress away, because I know what to do on different days of the week. I have very specific tasks that I complete. I also know that if they don't get done, it's not the end of the world, because I probably did something the day before and I know I'll have time the next day or the day after that. And that just makes things run smoother because I have something set that I'm doing every single day.
Clutter is really noise. It's external noise, it's internal noise. If you want to have more peace and less stress in your life, my number one piece of advice is to figure out ways to turn down the noise both in your head and in your home. Let go of those thoughts that circle around over and over again that are not benefiting you whatsoever. Let go of things in your house that are just adding to the noise instead of adding to the peace. So if you look around and you see piles of magazines and you're not reading them, is that adding to peace or adding to noise? Reduce the noise, both internally and externally. Think of decluttering as a process that is not limited to your stuff, but it's limited to, or it's everything. It's everything. It's the internal and the external. Don't limit yourself to just external decluttering. It's all clutter.
Make sure that you have a simple daily routine, a routine for your day, a routine for your week, and to make sure that self-care, daily self-care is part of that plan.
Have less on your plate. There's so many times that we think we need to do it all to get over the shame of not being enough, or the shame that we should be doing more for our kids or our family, when in reality, we just have too much to do, or we have too much stuff around, and we need to take those things away, take them off our plate, and then our stress will reduce as well. Now, that is a little easier said than done, but at its core, you just need less you have to deal with.
Monitor what you are bringing into your house. All the Amazon packages, the free Facebook groups, the free things you get from seminars, the things your kids bring home from school and daycare, the freebies you bring home from whatever else, the donations your family gives you because they think you want this stuff. Just be really mindful of what you're bringing in. And if you know you took it just because you wanted to be nice, but you know you don't want it in your home, automatically dispose of it or donate it. I would say that would be your number one tip, because as soon as it gets into your home, it's that much harder to get it out of your home.
Take the time to decide what matters to you. When it comes to your photos, hundreds of projects could matter. So if you take a minute to decide what matters the most to you, what one thing matters the most to you, not to your neighbor or your sister or anyone around you, that will help you narrow down your focus so that you can get started.
I have blocked out time for when I'm working and when I am at home. Because I do YouTube, so much of my time is kind of like intermeshed between work and family. And if I have blocked out hours that I know that I'm going to be working, I just try to work really intensely during those hours. And I truly try to make my off hours all about family, to disconnect, keep my phone in the other room, and yeah, just be able to focus on my family. I know my personality, and my personality type is very social. And so whoever I am with fully. And so a lot of times that leads me to not being intentional about what time I'm working. And then that leads to procrastination, which leads to stress, which means a lot of people are counting on me and waiting on my answers, and I do not like that. And so I really try to be super, super intense in the times that I am working, and when I'm not working, I just try to chill and be Kristen.
Keep it simple. I work in the online business world as a digital organizer, so there's always a new tool, a new method, something new to learn or try, and I don't do 99% of it because for me, if I have something that is already working, I do not need to reinvent the wheel. I do not need to pick up another tool or put my kid in another hot new activity that's going to make them be a genius or, whatever. So my number one tip for reducing stress in my life is just to keep things simple and realize that you don't have to do everything, or just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. So I really evaluate the things that I bring into my life. And if it's not going to add a ton of value, then I'm just not going to do it. So I like to keep things really simple and stress-free that way.
Create routines. When you have routines, you have a system, you have a process, you don't have to think about it, and that eliminates the stress of trying to figure out, what am I going to do next? How am I going to do that? So create and stick to routines, and it will immediately eliminate and reduce your stress.
Routines. In particular, a Sunday routine and an evening routine. And these two routines are going to help me with preparing for the week and for the day. Now, a lot of times people think about preparing for the day by having an awesome morning routine. And yes, a morning routine is very helpful and it's definitely beneficial for setting the tone for the day. But actually getting you ready for the day and making sure that your day is a success starts in the evening time. And that has been my key to having less stress in my life.
Remove decision fatigue. We are making decisions constantly all day long, especially as women and as mothers. People are depending on us to literally function and live. So the less decisions we have to make about ourselves, the better, and the easier and smoother your day is going to go. And I mean, like, decide what you're going to have for breakfast tomorrow morning, tonight. Decide what you're having for breakfast tomorrow. Decide what you're going to wear, like down to your underwear and your earrings. Like, remove all decision fatigue so that when the moment comes and you have to go, all of that is already decided, laid out, and ready for you, so you can just execute and have a great day.
The two biggest things that bring me a lot of stress in my life and in my home is a lot of visual clutter and that feeling like I'm just constantly having to go behind my kids and go behind myself, picking up stuff all the time, putting things away, shoving something back in a drawer, rather than having quality time with my family and those people that I deeply love and care about, because I'm just constantly trying to clean up after them. And so a big thing that I have worked on is getting my home to this state where I'm able to completely have it cleaned up every single night before I go to bed within an hour. And so the way that I've been able to do this is through decluttering and purging my home and then systematizing. But the biggest thing I think is decluttering unnecessary items. And so I get rid of anything that doesn't serve a good purpose. And I also get rid of anything that is more work to me than it is a benefit. So maybe it's something I'm constantly having to dust. Maybe it's something I'm constantly having to stuff back in a drawer whenever I get something else out. If it doesn't bring me more benefit than it does work, I get rid of the item. So this has caused my home to be able to get to the state where I'm able to do all the dishes every night, sweep, pick up the clutter, throw in a load of laundry if I want, and I can wake up every single morning with a fresh slate. In the afternoon, my house might be a wreck, but I don't have to be overly stressed about it because I know by the next day, I'm starting over fresh. So I really encourage you, if you feel a bit like you're on that wagon wheel of just constantly picking up stuff, to really focus on decluttering and purging your home. You will not regret it. It's so helpful with little kids.
Think about all of those things that you do every single day, whether it's your skincare, a makeup routine, getting the kids' lunch boxes together, getting yourself out the door, and making sure you can move through those routines as quickly as possible. This is a great way to reduce stress. It doesn't mean you have to get rid of everything. It just means having all of those things that you're using every single day really easy to access. You can move through one to another, and that will help you to stay way calmer.
Check in always with how you're feeling about what you're doing. You may have a list that's huge, but if it currently in this moment you're not feeling great, do you have to do the thing you're doing right now? If that's what's causing you the problem and you don't have to do it right now, maybe set it aside, put a pin in it, and do it later. If you do have to do it now, it's worth taking a deep breath, maybe a walk, and seeing if you can find a thought that helps you to feel better about it.
Give yourself a little bit of grace. Like, your kitchen, your home isn't going to look like someone else's. It's not going to look camera ready. Like, oftentimes during filming, like, things get pushed out of the way and you don't even know the chaos that's going on behind the scenes. We have been filming for 2 years during a kitchen remodel. So literally, like, the camera angle was perfect, and then we had construction tape on the other walls. So just remember, what you see behind the camera isn't always, hardly ever, the whole picture. And to give yourself a little bit of grace and not judge yourself with others. Just a little bit of planning ahead will help reduce that everyday stress, and being able to follow some of my tips and have groceries stocked in your house that are not going bad, that you can just pull out of your fridge and your freezer anytime and feed your families, is so important. And I am so honored to be able to help teach some of these skills that you will be able to feed snacks and feed meals to your kids and stay in budget without having food waste.
Carve out 30 minutes every single Sunday to do a weekly planning session. A weekly planning session is your opportunity to get a bird's eye view of the week, anticipate obstacles before they happen, come up with potential solutions, and step into your week feeling calm, prepared, and ready for anything.
You know, when I first got my Apple Watch, it had this setting on it from the health section, and it would say, stop and breathe. And I was like, what? I do not have time to stop and breathe. This thing's ridiculous. But over the last couple of months, I have noticed that if I stop and breathe and take a few minutes, like even just 30 seconds, to center myself, it helps with the stress, the daily stresses of being a mom and just having too many things going on. I'll even take a moment to center myself when I'm driving. So I don't always necessarily close my eyes, but I do always check my breathing and make sure I take deep, long breaths. I hold them and count to the number 5, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I hold my breath for 3 seconds at the top. And then I exhale and I let it go for 6 seconds. So a little bit longer than the 5 seconds it took to breathe in. That simple act, which, what is it, like 10 seconds at the most, has significantly impacted the stressful feeling that I'm constantly holding on to. And I've actually noticed that my shoulders will come up during the day. And when I center myself and take a second to breathe, just 10 seconds, then my shoulders come down, my whole demeanor is relaxed. I've even stopped getting as many headaches. So I think that's a pretty good solution.
Have less stuff. I'm telling you, the less stuff you have, the less stress you have. Stuff equals stress. You have to decide where to put it away. Do you need it? Do you have too much of it? Do you like it? Do you ever wear it? Everything you own is a decision you have to make. And the more stuff you have, the more decisions you have to make. So if you want less stress in your life, have less stuff. Think about when you're on vacation, right? You go with a suitcase. You're not thinking about your stuff at home. You're not thinking about the 16 pairs of black pants you have in your closet. You think about the one pair you have in your suitcase, and it works just fine. So apply that mentality to your daily life. Having less stuff means having less stress. I'm going to say it again. Having less stuff means less stress.
Decluttering often comes up, and there's a good reason for it, because the things around us affect us. They sometimes make us feel things, and sometimes these can be feelings of stress or guilt. So a really good question to ask yourself, and one that I've often used during my 10 plus years of minimalism, is taking an item and asking yourself if this item deserves a place in your future. And the great thing about this question is that it places emphasis on the future, because, we change, life changes, our priorities might shift, and something that used to bring us value might not going forward. And that is perfectly okay. So really asking yourself, does this deserve a place in my future? And I've used that question many times, which helps me to get rid of some of the things that were making me feel bad that were around me all day. For example, some clothing items that had gotten too small for me and kind of kept me from accepting my body the way that it is. So things like that can be very helpful. And then if you are the type of person who, many people are, and I am too, who kind of feel bad about getting rid of some of these things, is Imagine one day waking up and the item just magically not being in your home anymore. And this is not something that you did, so you don't have to feel bad about it. But the item is just not there. And if you imagine that, and the feeling that comes over you is kind of a feeling of relief, just being glad or feeling lighter that the item is not in your home and therefore in your life anymore, then that could be an excellent sign that you could benefit from letting this item go.
Sharing the load is the absolute best, most important way to reduce my personal stress. So it's all about delegate, delegate, delegate in a loving, respectful teamwork fashion. So my husband makes 1 or 2 meals a week. My 2 older kids make 1 meal a week. We have family responsibilities, contributions, chores, whatever you call them. The kids know their chores. Usually every Saturday. In the summer, we stretch them out so that they do 1 or 2 a day. Just recently, I trained my 8-year-old to clean the toilets. I hadn't ever gotten the kids involved in the toilets. I thought maybe those were too gross. He thought it would be kind of cool to learn. And then the next week he was like, "Oh, Mom, the toilet is dirty again already. I swear I just cleaned that." Now, my friends, that is ownership. And having a family who works together as a team, and when the kids begin to take ownership of the home, the food, the tasks, each other, themselves, it takes work on the front end, but it definitely reduces my stress in the long run.
Have more fun in your life. Think about what brings you joy. Is it getting outside, exercising? Is it the wind in your hair? Is it laughing with your friends? Is it lunch with your girlfriends? Is it a date night with your spouse? What brings you joy? Do that. I have a friend that every Thursday she goes to the shelter and pets puppies because it brings her joy, and the puppies benefit and she does too. I love that. So think about what brings you joy, connect with that, and do it. Do it. Do it. Less stress, more joy. That's what we're all about.
Have a place for everything. The reason it's stressful is because you don't know where to put it. But when you have a plan, you will have peace.
Starting my day with prayer is the number one thing that makes my day feel so much less stressful. Because I found that when I am trying to micromanage my day and clinging tightly to all the details, I'm going to live in a state of anxiety and stress because I feel like it all depends upon me. But when I open up my hands, when I release the control, when I stop trying to micromanage my day and white knuckle my way through life and instead say, "God, help me. Jesus, I need you. I can't do this in my own strength. Holy Spirit, give me what I need to do what you have called me to today." It makes such a difference. So I like to start my day on the treadmill and I pray over the people in my life, my husband and my kids. I pray for anything that's heavy on my heart. I release it to the Lord, and then I pray over the details of my day, what I know that is coming, what I don't know is coming, and just inviting God in, asking for his grace, asking for his strength, asking for his help. If I've been up a lot at night because I have little ones right now, I also have teenagers, so sometimes I'm up at night, late at night with them as well. Just asking God to multiply the sleep that I was able to get, asking him to multiply my energy when I'm feeling weary, and just releasing everything that I'm carrying to him, inviting him in to walk with me. And then I get to go through my day anticipating how he's going to show up and be faithful. And he always, always is.
Really hone your habits. So when something is a habit, we do it without even thinking about it. And so it feels less like work. So whether that is with organizing or with fitness or with your finances or with your kids, if you can get into really solid habits, then your life will get a lot less stressful because you'll just be doing all these things that you want to do kind of automatically. So some examples of that, especially in the organizing realm, is having solid morning and evening routines so that you're starting your day and ending your day well. Or having solid habits for what you do when you come in the door. Do you put your shoes a specific place? Do you drop your bag or your keys or your kids' backpacks? Do they go somewhere specific? And same thing for leaving the house. Is there kind of a mental checklist you go through to make sure you have everything you need? Forming good habits for coming in and out of the house can really reduce the stress and help us to have everything we need and keep those entryways and everything tidy as well. So I talk a ton about habits in my session, a lot more organizing habits. So tune in for that if you want some more ideas for really honing your habits.
Using a planner, and also finding a planner, finding a planning routine, and finding a planning system that you absolutely love. So for me, as you can probably see, it's using stickers, and I love to plan on a Friday afternoon for a few reasons. So mainly I really look forward to this. It's a huge part of my self-care for the week, and in that 15 to 20 minute schedule where I plan for the week, I'm having an opportunity to be really grateful for everything I've achieved that week. It also means that on Monday morning when I wake up, I know exactly what I'm doing. I've already planned everything, and it means that I can focus on the weekend for myself, my family, my husband, my hobbies, and all of the things that I need to do and really looking forward to doing. It's like drawing a line under the week, so I don't take any stress or did I finish this or what do I need to do into the weekend. So I definitely recommend that you find a planner that you love, find a planning routine that you love, and make stickers.
When it comes to organizing and decluttering, it can often very easily feel very overwhelming. We have a lot of stuff. There's a lot of spaces to organize and a lot of things to do. Pick just one space. It does not need to be an entire room, just a space, kind of like this shelf here behind me, or like one closet, a desk area, one dresser, something like that, just a small space, and get it completely organized to where you absolutely love it. Like I love the shelf behind me. Even if everything else is out of control, just keep going until you love it. And then you're going to have a reset space. So keep it that way. And every time that you're feeling overwhelmed, you can always go back to that space and know that that space is going to be organized, even if everything else isn't. And then often what happens is it has the trickle down effect in a good way, that you kind of start with that space, you're keeping that organized, and it makes you more motivated and excited to organize more, and you're able to really see your progress there. If you like these tips, be sure to sign up for Get Organized HQ Virtual by clicking the link below.